They slaughtered
A
20...
Blade Runner's job is to hunt down replicants. Manufactured humans you can't tell from the real thing.
What's this? Roy Batty.
Cyberpunk is well known for its flashy neon lights and Asian aesthetic. Corporations run the world. People are augmenting themselves, and the future looks very grim for the cyberpunk genre. But behind the cloak of the aesthetic, the genre of cyberpunk has one of the most philosophical meanings behind it. There's been countless forms of media with the aesthetic slapped on them. Underneath the neon lights and the high-tech, low-life aesthetic, there's almost always the very one question: who am I? Cyberpunk became popular in the 1980s with the hit movie Blade Runner and book Neuromancer. I've never read Neuromancer, but Blade Runner is one of my top movies of all time. Just mwah. It's what really sparked the fascination with street samurai and these fascinating high-tech dystopias. There was also a role-play game that came out around the same time called Cyberpunk 2020 by Mike Pence, my boy Mike. And then Cyberpunk 2077 came out. And oh my lord, the genre was back in the spotlight. Cyberpunk by far is one of my favorite genres of all time, and I think there is an argument there that it is the best genre of all time. Because if you look at it face value, just take it face value, you're very satisfied. It's very flashy, a lot of action, a lot of things going on in the genre of cyberpunk. If you're just a regular consumer, you're completely satisfied if you're just wanting to sit down and enjoy some cyberpunk. It's easy, it's super easy to get into. But if you just peel back that layer, if you're a nerd like me and you want to consume things, you want to think about things, if you want to look at things in a certain way that makes you stay up at night, cyberpunk's there, and it goes as far deep as you want it to go, to things that are super philosophical. One's very existence gets brought into question in the most media concerning the genre. Questions like, who am I, gets thrown around a lot. In Blade Runner, if the viewer is paying attention, that's the whole deal with Deckard. There's a question on whether Deckard even exists before the first frame of the movie. The theory is that Deckard gets turned on as a replicant right as the first scene with him starts. Rachel's entire arc in the movie is dealing with the fact that she's not human as well. And if she's not, then does she have feelings, emotions, and a soul? That's the whole question of the movie. Even the villain of the movie was a rogue replicant. All he wanted was to live, and that was literally his only motivation in the entire movie. The very word cyberpunk comes from the word cybernetic. Cybernetic is actually a field of science, which basically needs it's basically a controller and a sensor. The sensor senses its environment that is connected to the controller that controls the environment. The best example I can think of is a thermostat in someone's house. You control the thermostat controls the house, controls the temperature. In the 1950s, scientists got to the point in this field where they thought that's exactly what we are as humans. We're simply a controller and a sensor. We're nothing more than that. Just a constant feedback loop with not an actual sense of free will whatsoever. And that is what cyberpunk is at its core. The genre gets covered up by colorful lights and hypersexuality and modified bodies. But once people scratch past that surface, they are left with a deep philosophical question about humanity as a whole. And oh my lordy, that is sexy. That just tickles your funny bone. Anywho, gamers, I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you to think about that. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the video. Goodbye.
The hell else are we supposed to fight for?
Hey gamers, how you doing? I never played 2077 on the channel when the next gen updates came out, so I thought, I might as well hop into it a little bit before the DLC drops, because good lord almighty, I am playing that into oblivion. Wait a second, I got an idea. I got an idea. Can I actually pull this off? This man, he's not the strongest of fellas, but oh man, that intelligence through the roof, baby. You know, memes aside, that's kind of interesting. Super technical nomad, that's kind of interesting. Because typically nomads are the rough and gun type of characters. there we are. Our boy Walt will take over Night City. I tell you what. Who invited Rick Grimes to the party? Oh baby, it feels good to be in Night City again. Well, technically not right now, but you know what I mean. Someone in here? Hello?
I was worried I'd have to turn
Hey,
to
it's my boy Jackie. How you doing, Jackie? It's been a while. Excuse me, howdy. Radiation in your sector. What is this, Fallout?
And how'd it go? Run into any trouble? And what about the Militech angle?
Sure, of course there was trouble. Royce couldn't have given two shits of you and Brick had shaken him.
Jackie,
Met with Stout, managed to strike him.
No. What a song to play right before you go into the final mission with Jackie. I also realized that I never made a video on the next gen update on this game, so I thought I might as well do a little prelude to the DLC.
I understand. I just wanted to play it again.
Yeah, I miss it.
I just want to be, yeah, dude. There's just something about it that just makes it so good.
I haven't played it since I've done my fat fucking essay on the genre of Cyberpunk in college, so it feels so nice hopping back into it. I dove really deep into that essay, and my college professor really appreciated it. He's like, dude, you're good at writing, bro. I'm like, thank you. I'm pretty sure my first playthrough, I had V kill himself.
Dude, that was the worst ending you can give that man. Are you serious?
Yeah,
I thought about it myself. I thought about it so hard, but I was like, nah.
Cyberpunk is one of the most philosophical genres out there. It's actually kind of crazy. I want to rewatch Edgewaters now.
Oh, dude, I did that like 3 weeks ago. I try to watch it once a month.
It's so good. It nails Cyberpunk as a genre so well.
It does.
I think Cyberpunk is one of the, if not the best genre out there. Simply because if you're like a basic consumer, you just want to consume media without thinking, it's there. It's very surface level. But the moment you want to actually like dive into it, it gets so deep that it's depressing.
I'll tell you, that was really cool. Thumbnail you sent, that Walter White. I'm the one who did those 3 tags. That was me. That's the one, buddy.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself for that one, I won't lie.
That is fire. Dude, tell me why he would fit in the Cyberpunk world so well.
I felt the same way. It took me a while to really grasp why I felt such a connection to Breaking Bad to Cyberpunk for some fucking reason. I don't know why. There's just a weird connection there. It feels similar. I don't know why.
Cybernetic Walter White, swinging dope, brother.
It fits in such a weird way. Maybe because both characters are terminally ill. Maybe that's why there's a connection in my mind. But I don't know. It took a while. What the fuck? What the fuck? The entire genre of Cyberpunk essentially boils down to the question, who am I? If there's actual human free will or not. And Breaking Bad, that's the whole thing about Walter White. He's trying to figure out who he is. And he's trying to break free from his old mold, his old self. And I think that's why there's such a connection between him and Cyberpunk as a genre.
I think that's a good way to explain it. I think you nailed that one. David Martinez, that story is so poetic.
It's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Yes.
It's Adam Smasher.
Shit, that's Adam Smasher.
That's what I just said. Thanks, Misty. Your boyfriend's dead.
Good woman.
First time I played the game, V never like dropped his pistol, so that entire cutscene, was completely fucked up because he was just like pointing his gun at fucking Jackie as he was trying to get the fucking chip.
Get rid of the chip.
I would not count on that. She's likely gone very far away.
Oh, I enjoyed your Battlefront video.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, it was funny. It was.
Johnny, pretty sure they turned your great spot into a slurp shop.
Mindless fucking consumerism wins the day again.
Point for the other team, huh?
Huh. This is why you don't bring back fallen warriors. Sooner or later, they're gonna see everything they fought for is turned to shit.
Damn. That was a hard line that came out of nowhere, man. I've always loved this game. Now seeing it actually get the love that it deserves. Oh, baby. Hey, buddy.
Oh, hello, friend.
Hey, gamers. Gamers, I'm back. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you enjoyed the video. Just to let you know, the rest of this video basically boils down to a goddamn podcast because I just came back from a 3-day hike, and Levi and I just wanted to catch up. And I basically just went over the entire hiking trip, and it gets a little juicy at the end there, so I decided to compile the entire conversation into a singular clip for the video. So hope you all enjoy the rest of the video. See ya. Goodbye. How's it going?
Hey, what'd you do? Just run home?
No, I had a ride.
You live 1 block away?
No, I had a ride. Because my feet are all fucked up right now, so I asked for a ride.
Really? Why are your feet fucked up?
I might have possibly walked 30 miles the past few days.
How you feel?
I feel great. I won't lie. I feel fan-fucking-tastic.
Your legs burning?
They feel it. They definitely feel it.
Yeah. You're back okay?
Carrying Matt the whole time? I don't know, man. I think that took the blunt of the damage.
Proud of him, though. If
no,
you really did it, like, good on him.
You don't even know half of it,
No.
man. I am, like, genuinely, I've never been more proud of that man. That man genuinely had, like, a mental breakdown on that mountain, yet he still pushed through it. Like, he pushed hard. And it wasn't because of the hike itself. We got ourselves stuck in a very sticky situation. And he kind of just broke down.
Oh, was someone about to fuck his titties?
No, it was on the way back.
Oh, no.
And,
That's the best part, though.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's easier if I start at the beginning.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. I'm here for this. This is gonna be a great story.
So, at the beginning of the trail, it starts at a fishing hatchery. So a little river, cute little river. There's a salmon in the stream. It's very cute, very aesthetic.
Mm.
But first things off, we made our trip just a little bit harder right at the beginning because there's an extra 2 miles to the actual trailhead from the parking lot that we started at. We had no idea about the second parking lot that starts at the trailhead. So we just got a little extra 2 miles in, no problem. I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. Easy peasy. So we got a little head start, a little blood flowing through our legs at the very beginning there before we even got to the trailhead. And then
I'm not gonna lie, I would have been so upset if I had got there, walked 2 miles, and been like, we're so far away.
Listen, if anything, it just hardened our mindset because that's what really pushed us through. We needed a good mindset, or we're fucked. Once our morale broke, it was all downhill.
All right.
But the first 7 miles was just a vibe. It was alongside the cliffside, over the giant fucking river, waterfalls. It was far as fuck. It was such a steep fucking cliff.
So you say steep, like as in if you fell, that's like
sheer
game
drop
over,
off.
buddy.
It's a genuine cliff. Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
God damn it!
But
I want to see views like that, but
it was a
the
vibe.
adrenaline.
I
watched too many movies, you know.
Yeah.
You step on one rock and the whole cliff's gone.
I was on the way through, I was completely fine. But
Yeah.
when we were coming out, we were so tired and just dead that it was kind of sketch because we were a little bit more wobbly with our movements. But the first 7 miles
Did
was
you camp?
Oh, we camped for like 3 days.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were gone for a minute. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just
The first 7
my brain was
miles
rolling.
was just straight waterfalls and cliffs and just straight up vibes.
Beautiful, scenic,
Yeah.
gorgeous landscapes.
We hit that one waterfall that had the tunnel going behind it, and holy shit, that was so fucking cool. It felt like something out of Jurassic Park. And that was the first day. The first day we hit the 7 mile mark, and after the 7 miles, well, it's more like 8 miles. The trail goes into the forest and then curves up the mountain. And then past into the mountains, there's our end goal, the lake, Wadham Lake. That was our end goal for the hike. But we camped at the 8 mile mark before it starts to turn, and that was just the first day. It was a vibe, straight up vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I made some chicken fried rice. I had a hot meal, had some tea, and it was just straight up vibe central. We camped out underneath the stars, and then the second morning, we kind of fucked up because I was just kind of wanting to get up there, so I skipped breakfast. So I was hiking a mountain on an empty stomach, which just set us off on the wrong foot. And we were low on water, but once we got on the ridge on top of the mountain, we stopped. I was like, hey man, I need a little pick me up. So I had a little cashew bar, a cute little cashew bar, Nature Valley bar, and I don't know what it was about that bar, but I got so much fucking energy from that bar alone. And I was ready to fucking go. I was ripping it up that mountain afterwards.
Dude, hell yeah, man. I thought you were gonna say I opened it and it just fell apart everywhere.
No, this is the good part. Okay, this is the good portion of the trip.
Yeah.
And it was just ridge after ridge. Like, we were on top of the mountains at this point, and it was just going around every single mountain on the ridge lines throughout the mountains. We started in this tiny bitty valley, and then we walked through the valley and up a mountain, and then around like 5 other mountains. Until we hit like dude, it was so much
vertical slope.
It was steep as fuck.
Your calves.
Oh yeah, dude, they are ripped as fuck right now. They're so toned right now. I feel them. They're sticking through my fucking pants.
He's like, I gotta go buy new pants.
I actually do. My button broke. But once we hit like the actual forest part that the fire didn't touch, it was just a majestic rainforest. Moss covered everything. There were streams coming through the fucking trail at every turn. There's like a little cute little stream crossing the trail, and it got like at least 10 degrees cooler once we hit there. It was just cold as fuck. Matt wasn't really feeling it. He was kind of dead after the first like 8 miles that we did from the day prior. So we took a break at this, like, it felt like, you know, Phantom Menace, like Star Wars. We stopped at this one part of the creek going down the mountain that looked straight out of fucking Naboo from Phantom Menace. It was just moss covered and this gorgeous fucking creek coming off the side of the mountain. And they even had a little campsite from where hikers have been camping at. And we just took a nap there because we kind of needed the little pick-me-up. The creek was big enough for it to kind of disorient where the fucking trail was. So we're like, maybe we took the wrong turn, because there were other paths and other trails. And there was like a hiker like etched in an arrow pointing backwards on the trail at one point. So like maybe we did just take the wrong trail. But we hiked so much that, you know, I'm happy with seeing this gorgeous fucking place and call it good. Like, I'm happy with that. We hiked a lot. This was like, I think 10 miles in at this point. Which would have equaled to 20 once we got back. And after our fucking nap down by the creek, we looked up and we just saw this man on the fucking trail above us. Just, hey guys, how you doing? And we looked up and he was just a jogger. He had nothing on but like a t-shirt and some fucking shorts. 10 miles in the fucking forest. He had nothing on, no equipment, no gear, no water, no nothing. He's like, hey guys, how you doing? And we're like, hey? You guys here for the lake? And we're like, yeah, actually. We're thinking about heading back, though. We don't know where it is. Like, oh, no, don't worry. You guys are like 2 miles away from it. You guys are really close. It's just that way. And we're like, okay, thanks, NPC. What the fuck was that? But we're like, oh, so it's only 2 miles away. Matthew, I talked him into just finishing out. It's only 2 more miles. So we actually left our packs there at the creek. So it's only 2 miles. We don't need any like water to do that. So we just left it there to make it easier for us. And we finished our hike. We made it to the fucking lake, and there's actually snow up there. That's how far up we were. It was so far up that we got service at the fucking lake. That's how high up in elevation we changed.
Is that when Matthew posted in the Discord?
No.
The other day? Well, okay.
No. It would have been kind of funny if he did that, though. We spent our time...
we thought...
Yeah,
me and Jurassic really thought something happened.
Oh, dude, when we saw all those text messages, we were like on our way out, like leaving. We were at the parking lot, and we're like, dude, that is the funniest shit. But no, we spent some time at the lake. There was a bunch of campers there. We kind of hung out, talked to them, and really just experienced what we just went through, because we finally made it to our goal after a day and a half of hiking. Matthew was kind of done. He was cooked. He was ready to go home. And we were planning on going back that day. This was Tuesday. We were planning on coming back Tuesday. We were planning on just cooking it back home.
Happened.
Yeah, something big happened. Something very big happened. And I was very worried for him for a second. So, on our way back, there was this big stretch of ridge. Like, it was just one singular, like, straight across a mountain, right? And if you just went straight down from that part of the trail, you would meet up with the other part of the trail. But it was super fucking steep. Like, extremely steep. And we were so out of it, and I was feeling adventurous. I was having a good old fucking time. I felt my calves burning, I felt the blisters forming, and I was just pure testosterone and adrenaline was feeling through my body. And I was like, you know what, Matt? Let's mountain goat this shit. And he was so out of it, and he was just wanting to go home, that he was like, yes, let's fucking do this. And honestly, it was more of his idea, but I took blame because of what happened. But we actually made it a little bit more than halfway down. We actually made it pretty fucking far down the mountain.
Right.
Because most of it, at that part, it was all the charred forest area, right? So, and it's been 4 years since, so it's just all overgrown bushes. So we used the bushes as basically like rope, and we just kind of fucking mountain climbed this shit. With all of our camping gear on. And it got to the point where it was way too steep, and he got so tired that he was just kind of sliding above me. Like, I would like clear the path of the bushes, and he would just slide in. And I didn't notice that because my back was like turned. By the time I noticed how tired he was, we were so fucking far down the mountain that I was genuinely worried, and he just started kind of breaking down and crying because he was just so tired. And I was like, oh no, Matt, you are
my boy.
You are not, like, you can't just slide down like that, Matt. You're gonna slip and actually like dangerously hurt either you or me or both of us. Okay, buddy? Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's not a video game, my guy.
You can't just fucking Skyrim that shit, bro.
Yeah, if you keep sliding, it don't stop.
Yeah, it just takes one bad slip and you're just done. So
Absolutely.
I
Good
immediately,
on you, good friend.
the moment I noticed that, I stopped and I was like, "Hey, buddy, we need to talk out about our situation because we are really far down the mountain, but we can't do this, okay?" Because I looked and it only got steeper. So I said, "Hey, let's just try to make it back up," because there was one singular flat spot up on this mountain, one singular flat spot, and we're like, "Hey, let's
Yeah.
just make it back to that point and talk about our situation." And he turned around, grabbed the fucking vines, and fell. His legs just gave out on him immediately, and he tried, it wasn't on him, like he genuinely like put effort there. He was just done.
Oh,
He already
man.
had like 11 miles in him, and he was just done. He was stuck on the side of a fucking cliff. So like, fuck. Well, now this is all on me. I told him, Matt, stay here, stay right here, and I gave him my the clip on my backpack has a whistle on it, so I undid my buckle, and just gave him the buckle, so he can blow the whistle if needed. And I made the entire trek up the fucking mountain by myself as dude, the moment I left, he started screaming for 911 and help, and blowing that whistle as loud as he could. He was having a fucking mental breakdown the moment I left. And honestly, I don't blame him. It was pretty dire, that situation. That shit sucked. But it was kind of funny once I got up there, just hear that man scream. I also felt very guilty because I kind of got over that situation.
Yeah, but, you know,
But
a very valuable lesson was learned.
I mean, at the same time, more good came out of it than bad. I won't lie, because
Exactly.
he realized what his body was capable of at the end of this. I personally,
which isn't a lot. It's below average, unfortunately, but it's okay.
Dude, the things that he did after this, after I came back, I trekked all the way back up. I had to leave my backpack because the first part was just pure bush, nothing but bush, and my backpack just wouldn't stop getting caught. So I undid my backpack and just fucking Bear Grilled crawled up the fucking mountain underneath the bushes to the top. And the funniest part was once I got back up to where the path was, I just flopped up on the path, and I flopped right in front of two hikers. And from their point of view, they literally just saw a man just flop onto the fucking trail. And they're like, "What the fuck? Where did you come from, bro? That's just a cliff. Where the fuck did you come from?" And they're like, I was like, "Dude, let me tell you what. I have a friend down there."
Yeah, oh man.
And they actually like completely understood the situation. Like, shit happens. Like, sometimes you just fuck around and find out, you know. And they were super nice. And we hung out for a bit. And they gave me a water bottle. And they were like, "Hey, he's not injured, right?" And I was like, "No." And Matthew told me to go try to get service and call the forest services. But since neither of us are injured, they probably won't do a single damn thing. They will just give us like instructions on what to do. So that wasn't my concern. My concern was water and getting back down to him. So we hung out. They gave us. I actually got one of her numbers. They gave us some Gatorade, a water bottle, and we kind of like walked to the nearby spring, the nearest spring, which was like a mile away. We walked to the spring,
yeah.
got some water. We actually made a couple friends. They were really chill people. They were really cool.
So he made it up to the mountain, like he made it back up?
Well, the plan,
You...
because I knew how fucking done he was. My plan was for me to go back down with the water, and I have my camping gear. We will just fucking make do on the fucking cliff for the night, and then hike out in the morning. That was my plan. And by the time I got the water, I had to fucking like jerry rig the water bottles through my pants somehow so they don't fall, and had to hold the other water bottle in my mouth as I fucking climbed back down the fucking mountain. And Matthew thought I was going out to go get the Forest Services, and once he realized that I was just coming back down myself, he literally said, "Why? Why are you coming back down again? Why are you doing this climb a third time, bro?" And I just I was so like tunnel vision on this man that I said, "What the fuck else do you want me to do, Matt?" And that shut him up real fast. And I threw down, I got like to a nearby little perch, and I threw down the Gatorade bottle that's now filled with water. And he literally started crying because of how grateful he was. Like, he was like, "Dude, you're such a good friend. You literally did that. You basically walked like 2 fucking miles for me just now. You're such a good friend." And honestly, it was so heartfelt that it almost made me start crying. I'm like, "Bro, shut up. Let's just assess our situation."
Look, man, you're tired. I'm tired. Let's just go home.
So this was like at 5. No, fuck. When was it? It took so long that it ended up being like 7 or 8 by the time I got to him. It was hours because of how much I had to walk to get the water, and we found another group of hikers that tried to go down to him, but it was so fucking thick and covered that they're like, "Dude, we can't do anything." Sorry, man. And they were like pro hikers. They were walking the PCT, which covers the entire fucking state. Like, they were pros, and even they were like, "We can't do anything right now, man. I'm so sorry." But yeah, it was getting super late. Sun was setting, and we knew that like we were kind of just stuck here for the third night. And he straight up said he started to hallucinate. He was so tired and out of it that he forgot to take off his fucking sweatshirt. So the sun was just beating down on him. His black ass sweatshirt was just absorbing all that heat while he was sitting there by himself. He just started hallucinating and started hearing shit. But once he got some water in him, I convinced him to go up to that one like flat area. At least, so we can like set up camp. But
That's good. That's good.
Once
He didn't
we got
fight that too hard, did he?
He found the fucking motivation. He was keeping up with me. He fucking found it. Whatever it was, he fucking found it. And I helped him along because he realized how dedicated I was to fucking helping him in the situation. That definitely helped him. He just saw how dedicated I was. So he kept up with me. We made it up to the Meadows. And while I was with the other group of hikers, I realized that there is a section of the Meadows that kind of evened out way easier than the way that we took down. So if we just went south a little bit, we could just climb up on this like rock face instead of through all the bush. So we were like, I had a serious talk with him.
Sounds like a whole fucking ordeal, bro.
Dude, I had
to be honest,
yeah,
all of this could have been avoided if you guys had just taken the path.
Oh yeah, no shit, no shit.
I'm glad that Matthew.
The only thing
for everyone.
He never communicated
Only
how tired
people.
he was. He never communicated at all. I still don't blame him because I was the first one down, and I was like the leader of the situation.
To be fair though, it's Matthew we're talking about. Maybe he was like trying to impress you in some way because he looks up to you to a certain point. I think maybe he didn't want to let you down, Haas. You know what I mean?
Honestly, he did it. He did way more in this situation than I could have. I thought for a fact that I was gonna have to go grab the fucking sleeping bag and throw it down to him. For a fact, I thought that. But we pushed up to the meadow. Then he was like, "Let's just fucking keep going." I had a very serious conversation like, "Hey, the closest campsite is that fucking 8-mile point that we did last night. So we have to trek across the ridge line again and go down to that campsite. That's the closest one. And we have to beat that before it gets dark. And he was like, dude, let's just go. Let's just fucking do it. I'm like, okay. So we trekked through this deep fucking brush to this little rock wall. And we did it. We made it back up to the path. And even the hikers said, like,
God damn.
The best case scenario, the pro hikers, way more experienced than us, said the best case scenario is that you guys just camp down there tonight and then hike out in the morning. But we fucking got back up to the path. And we just cooked it. We did not stop. We just went down, all the way down to the 8-mile camp that we did the same camp that we camped at the night prior.
Mm-hmm.
And we just camped there for the rest of the night. I won't lie, it got pretty goddamn dark by the time we got there. But I pulled out my flashlight and made sure we were careful. But the moment I realized that he had, like, the gumption to just fucking do all of that. And,
You know what it was?
What?
He fucking manned up.
He did.
Stop being such a little pussy.
He did, bro.
And I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
After we got out of that fucking scenario and back onto the path, he didn't complain a single fucking time after that.
Yeah, he found his blazing glory, bro.
He did. I was so fucking proud of him.
Yeah,
I was
that's great.
so
Every
proud of him.
man needs to find that.
And we
He's
just
gonna wake up a new man.
I told him, dude, I'm like, bro, after this, you came into this forest as a boy, as a little baby boy. You're a fucking
It's like
man
going
now,
to
man.
Yeah, like the Jedi trials is what that man just went through.
He did. And we just camped at the very same campsite. And in the morning, I made some tea, had some breakfast, and we non-stop hiked out of there.
Let's go. In and out. 20 minutes adventure.